So I wanted to make this kind of video again, where I just kind of open OBS and just have like a talk. And the last video was kind of the same format where it was essentially a very relaxed like rant basically about Roblox and the internet safety stuff. And yeah, this type of video format is very, very different. And the energy as well is also very different from my older videos. I've actually grown to really like this kind of style of video, to be honest. And I want to do that again because it seems like you guys really like that kind of format. And to be honest, I was skeptical about uploading that type of video, but it seems it really did resonate with you guys. So today, from the title of the video, you might get an idea already of what the topic of today's video is going to be about. And I know it's very specific to artists, but I feel like the general message and the kind of mindset I'm trying to encourage in this video can apply to essentially everyone, I guess, hopefully. So, creative individual watching, you are very much familiar with the state of the modern world right now with technology and how artists and creatives have been treated, you know, with how these tech giants have just been scraping all our work, you know, vacuuming it all up with no consent and spitting out these soulless slop music and generated AI images. And I'm sure from the very start of all this AI nonsense, all the way back in like 2022, where it slowly began to infest the internet, I feel like a lot of creatives have already seen the writing on the wall all the way back then. And with giving such a software to the wider internet, there will always be a bunch of unethical individuals, and it will only snowball into something even worse with this image generating potential and now like music generating potential. And I'm using the word potential as like potential for absolute garbage, by the way. And fast forward to now, this AI software has become completely gone out of control, and you can't seem to escape AI anywhere if you have a digital device. They're probably gonna make air fryers with AI in them for some awful reason. But anyway, even with all of this, if you just take your mind back all the way before this was even a thing, and as a creative person, stuff like that, that kind of sector of like career pursuing or like hobby, there has always been people who kind of look down that kind of career path, like in a skeptical or negative light. For example, with art, it's something that you want to pursue. Even way back then, people would still be like, are you sure you want to be an artist, blah, blah, blah. Are you sure you want to pursue this kind of career? You know, it's going to be hard. Do you want to be realistic? Like, there's always been that type of person. And it sucks because I know that people have had that kind of talk with, like, I know someone from my old university where we would talk and they would say that they would get good grades, like fairly solid grades in like secondary school and stuff, and they decided to go for a creative career path instead in university. One of their parents were like, oh, you know, you could always pursue something else, you know, there's always a chance for you to pursue blah blah blah. And it's that level of skepticism, like you can tell what they're trying to do, where they just want to hit you softly with that comment like, oh, don't pursue this career, be more realistic, blah blah blah. You can tell that's what they're trying to say. Like it's like a really backhanded comment, but you can tell what this person is trying to say about someone who wants to go for this more creative career path. And I just know there's a bunch of other people who want to pursue this kind of career. They have all probably experienced that kind of conversation with people who just look down on their choices. And the sad part is that it's probably close family or friends who are saying these kind of things to someone who wants to pursue something creative, which must feel like absolutely terrible. And I am very grateful for my own personal friends and family. I have luckily not heard this type of comment at all in my life with my artwork and my passion and pursuit for this type of stuff. But, a very big but, okay? Anyway, but it's very hard to not fill my mind with this idea that there is people who I think like, they're encouraging me in my progress and stuff, but deep down, what they're truly thinking is like, they don't really like support, they don't really see this going anywhere. You know, they don't really feel this way. They're not actually encouraging me. They just want me to feel like this is gonna get me somewhere. You know, those like really unhealthy thoughts that your mind cooks up in your head. Like I think it's very easy to get into that negative mindset sometimes because of how the world perceives someone taking a more creative pursuit in life and not going for something, you know, quote unquote safe or normal. And I will admit, I've had these thoughts before of, you know, close friends or families saying that, oh, keep going with the stuff you're doing. Like, it's going great. All of those type of like nice, encouraging things. I've had those moments where I was like, no, these people don't really think of me that way. They think this is not going to go anywhere. But I have had moments where I had to sit with myself and say that, like, yo, this is not like a healthy way of assuming people and what they truly, quote unquote, truly think about you. Like if you've had that kind of experience as well, where you think people are encouraging you, but deep down they're not, I encourage you to please not think that way. However, but if you have had people like that in your life who have seen your creative work, they've seen your art, they've listened to your music, etc., and they've said those type of comments like, oh, be realistic. Like, oh, are you sure you're going to make it doing this? And that level of like backhanded comments and skepticism, please do not let those type of people discourage you, please, okay? And so please, even after all I've talked about with AI and how that has been running rampant across the internet and into the real world, and how even before that, people would be doubtful about the idea of taking a creative or artistic path, or like a, in quotation marks, unconventional career path. And even with close people around you, hopefully not, but those people around you who might be doubtful or skeptical or look down on your stuff, even with all those things crashing down on you, you just have to keep going, keep making things, keep messing up, because failure is part of the progress, it's part of the process. And true failure is actually completely stopping. So what if your drawing skills aren't up to par yet? They're not up to par yet. If your music sounds bad, it sounds bad at the moment, not forever. You have to keep experimenting. You have to keep the momentum going, because how are you supposed to get better if you completely stop? And you know what? I think Eros, at this day and age with creative pursuits in like music or art or story writing, like, I feel like you're just not allowed to give up on yourself at this point, because it just doesn't sit right with me that you would give up on your creative pursuits because some lazy, talentless individual is pumping out meaningless slop. Like, it just doesn't sit right with me that you would give up now. More than ever, you cannot give up. These are people who cannot even comprehend a pencil and paper and making something with that, or writing up a whole story by yourself, or writing a whole song and mixing a song and just making things in general. Like, you're so much better than these AI bozos. So at this point, like, you just can't give up. You have to keep going.